This video is sponsored by British rock band Naughty Juice. Not for the first time, Ed Sheeran has spent the last week in court disputing allegations that his 2014 hit song Thinking Out Loud is based on a classic soul track. Both songs use the same chord progression with the same anticipated rhythm, they both start their melodies on the second beat of the bar, and they both have a similar laid-back, cool, soulful sound to them. Of course, the classic soul track, which Sheeran obviously copied, is the timeless golf course selection music from Wii Sports. If I move both songs into the same key and tempo, we can hear how the two songs just slot together.
So honey now, take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars.
No, it's not. No, I've made a mistake. It's not the golf music from Wii Sports that Sheeran is accused of copying. It's Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye.
I've been really trying, baby. Take me into your loving arms.
Let's Get It On features the same anticipated rhythm that we see in Thinking Out Loud. It uses a very similar chord progression, although the second chord is a bit different. And once again, we have that, generic soul vibe. But as many have pointed out, these similarities between Thinking Out Loud and Let's Get It On ultimately come down to very generic elements. Elements that you could find in many other songs, particularly songs with a soul or laid-back R&B feel. In fact, I personally do think Sheeran was directly inspired to write Thinking Out Loud after listening to an old classic soul song. But I don't think it was Let's Get It On. I think it was the song Crazy Love by Van Morrison, which actually came out 3 years before Let's Get It On.
I can hear her heartbeat from 1,000 miles.
Just like Thinking Out Loud, Let's Get It On, and the Wii Sports music, Van Morrison's Crazy Love has a very similar chord progression, albeit this time it's the last chord that has been changed. We have that same anticipated rhythm on the last chord of the progression, and we have that same soulful style. But beyond any of that, the only relevant thing really that makes me think that Ed Sheeran was inspired by this song, not the Marvin Gaye song, is Crazy Love's chorus. Here's the chorus of Van Morrison's Crazy Love.
She gave me love, 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 crazy love.
And here's the end of the chorus from Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud.
Maybe we found love right where we are.
And here they are again, transposed into the same key. So am I saying now that Van Morrison should be the one suing Sheeran? Well, although I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in the future, that is not what I'm suggesting should happen. What I'm saying is that being influenced by the songs that came before you is how songs are written. Influence and inspiration does not amount to plagiarism or copyright infringement. The reason that all 4 of these songs sound similar is because they're all written in the same style. All a style really is a checklist of generic musical features. The reason we group certain songs together under terms like soul music is because those songs sound similar. So 2 songs sounding similar shouldn't be a problem, it just means that they're in the same style. Now, of course, there are times where a songwriter, knowingly or not, has actually copied somebody else's song, when the similarities between the 2 pieces of music clearly extend beyond just generic features associated with the style or vibe of the music. For example, in one of my recent videos, I talked about how Rod Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy lifted the melody from the song Taj Mahal by Georges Benjour. This is an instance where the 2 songs don't sound similar because of their style, or even their chords or arrangement, it's just because of the melody. Melody is generally considered the main defining feature that distinguishes one song from a different song. For example, I could play the same 12-bar blues vamp with the same style, the same chords, same everything, but the one thing that distinguishes Johnny B. Good from Hound Dog is the melody. The ultimate problem though with copyright infringement lawsuits is there's no legal clear-cut way of saying that element of the song is a generic feature of style and that element of the song is a unique, distinguishable, ownable, copyright-protected piece of the music. With song copyright, all we have to go on is legal precedent, set by the various song lawsuits which have happened over the last 50 years. We can look back on which of these lawsuits were successful and not successful, and use that as a guide to establish what is legally considered a copyright-protectable element of music. And this is why it's not just Ed Sheeran who should be concerned about these increasingly tenuous lawsuits. When, for example, it was ruled by a court of law that Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams had infringed the copyright of Marvin Gaye's song Got to Give It Up, not because they lifted from the melody or even the chords, but because their song had a similar vibe and a similar style to the Marvin Gaye track, it set a dangerous precedent. It shifted the de facto legal definition of what is considered a copyright-protectable musical asset. So now, any time that a song has a similar aesthetic or vibe or style to a song that came before it, in the same way that Blurred Lines had a similar style and vibe and aesthetic to Got to Give It Up, it's that bit easier for that songwriter to be taken to court on grounds of copyright infringement. Now, the only bright side, the only thing that we can hope for here, is that Ed Sheeran wins his case, because as much as these dubious lawsuits are an opportunity for the limitations of song copyright to become looser and looser, they are also opportunities for clearer lines to be drawn. If a court of law can rule that Ed Sheeran didn't plagiarise Let's Get It On when he wrote Thinking Out Loud, then that can theoretically move the needle back the other way, closer to a place where the copyright of a song is used for what it should be used for, to give composers a fair level of protection over the music they write, to allow them an opportunity to exclusively monetize that and profit from it. At the moment, though, it seems that copyright is being used instead to allow big corporations or the estates of deceased musicians to extract as much money as they can from this year's biggest song just because it sounds vaguely similar to a song that they own the rights to.
Hole in one!
And a big thank you to Naughty Juice for sponsoring this video. Naughty Juice are a rock band from Torquay, England. Check out their rocked up version of A Day in the Life by the Beatles. And here's a bit of their original song, Bed. If you'd like to listen to more of Naughty Juice, you can find them on Spotify or YouTube. The links for both are down below.